All right. With that said, today's training is going to be on social media. And, you know, this gentleman, I've been creeping on Instagram for a while, Mike. I've been a fan of yours and been stalking you a bit. And I've been sharing his content. I'm going to put his Instagram here in the chat. I mean, just look at how dialed he is, his pictures, the colors. When you look at his page, you know that he's in solar. And I believe some of his leadership is Kiara and Zach, and then myself. So I just love what this gentleman is doing, working with social media, likely to have a ton of leads and deals coming in. So let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen, Mike. And I'd love to hear a little bit about yourself and about social media. So take it away.
All right. Well, thanks for the intro. Can you guys see my stuff?
Looks good.
Okay, so I want to first, I like your advice. Anyone who's alive, that's what you said in California.
Heck yeah.
That's our current. That's how we're doing things right now. If they're alive, we need to talk to them. So I want to talk about a little bit of my history just to start, and then get into why you may want to do this or what it can generate. When I started, I did not anticipate what has happened, and I'm glad I did it. So I want to get into that. First thing I want to do is throw, just off the top of your head, throw in the chat how many years you think I've been in solar, because I'm going to introduce my story. Just how many years have I been doing this? Just a guess. Winner gets a prize. 0.5. Yeah. So the funny thing is, so everybody's saying like 2, 5, 10, 1. It's all over the board. But what typically happens is, like, when you start putting content out and you start acting as an expert, then you will be taken as one. I had someone join my team just last week, and she was posting content for the last 2 months, and I saw the content, and she looked like an authority on what she was talking about. The content's really good. And then we met, and she says, well, I just started. And in my mind, just by seeing the post, I thought, well, she really knows what she's doing. And she just, by creating content, by talking on a camera and just putting it out there, you come off as an authority to some degree. And that's one of the points of doing all this, is you want to be able to be referable. That's the whole point of this, is create a brand where your face and your voice means something, so someone can refer you. Because as we went through the success stories, all the best stuff's coming from referrals. My B&I group, I joined that because they found me on Instagram, and all that comes from that. So be referable, and you need to create a brand where you look like you know what you're talking about. So I asked how many years, because I did start in here. Let me start this. I started in 2021. I started door knocking direct to home. So I just hit 2 years in the industry, and I didn't know anything about solar. I didn't know anything about sales. I didn't have an Instagram account when I started in solar, and I was just knocking doors, and I thought, okay, I'm bored out here, right? You're just walking around. My pitch is so boring. By the way, my door pitch now is one word. I just say solar ? That's how bored I get out there. So I would just walking around saying solar and talking to people, and I got a lot of business that way. But I used that time to start coming up with ideas for this thing, SolarMike. And I wanted to create that. The biggest reason, the problem I had with door knocking was I didn't like not being trusted. The fact that, like, I knew I was trying to be as honest with them as I could and give them what was right for them. But I wasn't trusted because I was knocking doors, and there's just a lack of trust with that method of business. And that's fine. Knocking doors isn't bad. It's a great way to get the 10 pennies. I'm going to talk a lot about the 10 pennies, but I wanted to be trusted more. And so about May, so I knocked doors for 6 months, 5 or 6 hours a day. I did that. But in this time, I started to just keep a notebook of all these ideas, all these different things I could do on social media if I ever dared turn the camera on. It honestly took me 5 months to like create a post because I'd never done anything like that. I wasn't that creative. I'm a left brain person. And I was like, I don't belong in this world. It's going to be weird. And I knew it, but I just started and committed to it, and I haven't stopped since. So that's when I started this. I also was in a world, the door knocking world, and the door knocking companies, they don't necessarily support you in social media. So power is different that way. It's like everybody do everything they can. And it's kind of a beautiful mess because we all take the tools from power and do all sorts of things, where I was almost discouraged from social media and this other company. And so it was kind of odd. So I made the transition to power in April 2022. So I've been in since last year, spring of last year, and everything's really changed. So social media and power and the tools we have here and the way we build teams, the way we generate business, they are a sort of a perfect fit. And as soon as I saw power structure, I knew it was going to be right for me. All that being said, like, I wanted to make the point that like social media is about pretending, right? I haven't been doing this that long, but if you solve a problem for a customer and then you make a short video about it and someone else in solar says, "Oh, I just learned something," then all of a sudden you're an expert, and there's power in that. So yeah, social media, we're just pretending to be great when we probably aren't, which I'm not. Okay, so when I started social media, like the first question you get, and if a lot of you've done social media, you're going to get someone new in solar come up to you and say like, "Yeah, but do you get leads from that?" It was always, I was with all these door knockers, and they'd come up to me, they'd see what I was doing and say, "Yeah, but like, is that a waste of time?" They're all trying to calculate. And all of you, if you don't do social media, are all doing the math in your head. Should I do this? Like, is this worth it? You can all do it because social media is doable by anybody, because we're just putting out there what we're doing every day. But is it worth it? It is a lot of work. At least it has been for me. I made it that way. But the question was always like, "Hey, Mike, are you getting leads?" And my answer was always no. Like, it's a long game. It's not like the frustrating thing with social media is you don't create a great post and then get a reward. There's no immediate gratification on content when you make it. It's definitely a long game that you play consistently. So the answer to this, and I want to answer this right off, because this is like, again, if you're not doing social media, this is the question you're asking yourself: am I going to get business from this? Am I going to talk to more homeowners? And the answer is yes. It was not at first, but I'll show you what I did in the very beginning last year. And I did get some installs from it. But now that I'm in power, the way I use it to team build, and I refer back to this, the referral network validation, is probably the biggest benefit that I see from my social media. But the job is always the same. It's 10 pennies. That is this job. It's talking to homeowners. I saw social media as a way to transition. Instead of talking to them on their front doorstep, I was going to talk to them online or some other way, and I wanted to scale that out. So instead of talking directly to them, I was going to try to scale that through using social media, and it's worked. So keys to success. I have consistency here. Creativity matters. Organization and planning. I'm going to go over each of these. The second one, creativity matters. That's kind of a bummer, because that sounds hard. And it did to me. Like I said, I'm left brain. I was an engineer. I'd never done sales, creativity. I tried to play guitar once, and all I could do was like, just, I can't create. I wasn't an artist. And so we sometimes think creativity is something that's super right brained. That's like some sort of artistic output. It's not necessarily that. It can be just turning a camera on and talking. So I'm going to go over each of these. This is probably the most important if you're starting out, or if you do it in an unorganized way. So you'll see the people that are best at this, they have a way to stay organized, and they know what they're going to put out, and they have sort of a schedule, and they've really laid out, like Tom said in the beginning, I don't know if everyone was here, but he was talking about like time boxing, like being very organized with each little thing you do that results in an output, you know, an outcome that you want over time. And to be great at social media, I had to, it's kind of funny. This is a picture of my Trello board right here. And I found this when I was looking through preparing for this. It was all the way to the right, my Trello board, because it was one of my first things I made. This was like right when I started. I thought, okay, what's going to be my schedule? It was so scary for me to think about creating a post every day, something that was meaningful, and how I would keep that up. But it's funny to look at these now, but I thought like, well, I'll do something about myself, and I'll do a solar fact, and I'll do something, I'll go to a coffee shop and I'll tag them, and I'll try to get their followers to follow me and all this. And so I had like a flow that was really simple at first. And so if you're going to start social media, the first thing you want to do is, or if you want to up your game in social media, if you're not super organized, create some place to first create a flow, and then you're going to fill that with ideas as they come to you. And like I said, I got all these ideas. I was just out knocking doors. If you guys go for walks or wherever, like driving, a lot of ideas can just come, and you need a place to dump those out. And then you can go create the content as you know, the timing fits. But you can see this is just a picture of the grid on my feed, and Jonathan showed it in the beginning. And as you scroll through someone's account, you kind of see what their brand is, right? And I remember in the beginning, I thought, well, I want to be an expert. I want to show that I'm an expert. I want to show that I'm doing something valuable for who I'm helping, and that I'm a normal and likable human. That was like, so here's me. I'm good at what I do, and I help a lot of people like you. You should call me if you need this thing. That's like the basis structure that I had. That was like the brand I was trying to create. And then, you know, I laid out, okay, on a weekly basis, what kind of posts would give me this output here. So planning, like I take Sundays and I plan the whole week for what I'm going to post. People do it different. If you could see Kiara is someone I work with, and her spreadsheet, it's insane. Like this thing she has to like plan out what she's going to do on social media is completely overwhelming. But that's how far she's taking it as far as being organized and getting exactly what she wants out there. So it can be very simple. Mine's still really simple. What I do, I get on Sunday, I decide what I'm going to post every week or all that week. And I don't worry past there. Like I just look a week ahead. I make sure I have the things I need. And I know what I'm going to do, and I know when I'm going to film things, and I know when I'm going to dress my dog up or whatever we're doing. And I warn my kids like, hey, you're going to be in Thursday's post, you know, maybe take a shower or something. So plan it all out. That's really important. If there's some chat that I need to see, let me know. Like,
you're pretty good. You're pretty good right now, Mike. I put in the chat Trello. I think most people probably aren't familiar with Trello, so I did put the link to Trello.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Trello is just it's like a board type system to keep notes. I do like Trello for a lot of things. Okay, the next point, creativity matters. So this one, when I'm working with people that have joined my team, and I kind of go lightly here because I don't want to put pressure on people like, hey, you need to strap 2 longboards to a solar panel and ride it and follow it with a drone. And like, that's how you do this. But if you can do that, then you should. I'm actually going to do that again, but with an electric. Like, I need to get that thing automated. But you don't need to worry, which I was so much in the beginning. Like, what am I going to post? How am I going to stand out? How am I going to be creative? And what I realized is, if you're passionate about this job and then you do the job, then you'll have ideas. If you're looking for content and your pipeline's empty, you're doing the wrong thing. Like, you work hard and then the ideas are in there. So that's why I love this quote here. Don't wait for inspiration. It comes while working, because you're connecting, like Steve Jobs says here, you're connecting things that are there happening as you're going through this. So I've learned to not stress about, hey, what am I going to post? I focus on, let me work for my clients. Let me solve their problems. Let me work for my team. Let me solve their problems. And then I realize, I just take note as I'm doing that. Oh, that'd be a post. That'd be a post. And weird stuff comes out, like, but it all comes back to the same flow. Like, you can just see the last week, this is my family. It has nothing to do with solar, but once in a while you want to show that you're a person. This was the stupid 2020 recap that I'm ashamed I did, but we all had to, right? We just have to do it. But like this chatbot one, this is what would be seen as creative or original. But I was in my BNI meeting that morning. We had our little breakout group, and one of our members just went on and on about this chatbot. And so it was like, there's my idea. That's a post. So as you go through your day and you're working and you're doing all these things and solving problems, the ideas are there. You just, and that's what you want to show people. That's how you come off as creative and original, is because, hey, I'm in this unique situation. I'm solving this unique problem. And then you find a way to show it to people. Okay. This is JB's page here, and this is Kiara's. And I just scrolled down and took a screenshot of their grid, and look what you find. You find solar panels. You find someone on their team that they're promoting. You find them talking because they're experts. You find something inspirational. You find Kira's always like drinking something awesome and just like doing life better than all of us. So, but there she's got like, she's got like a post here on what's happening in the industry. Hey, this person joined my team. We're making a bunch of money. So there's a flow to all of these successful accounts that show, this is who I am as a person. This is how passionate I am about what I'm doing. And this is how I'm helping people. And I'm sure these guys would say the same thing. Like, you get in this flow where you kind of know what your brand is and what should be on the page. And it just starts to go. But when you're beginning, you need to make a list and just be really almost disciplined about it before you have the skills and comfort level that you can just kind of flow with it. Another really good example, I don't have it on here, but you guys know this guy, but look at Ramsey. So Ramsey, like there's different styles, but one of the things I like about Ramsey's is solar, but super, it's his life too. So he's really funny. That's why I like him, but he's showing like him in his life, playing music, being goofy, being funny, leading his team. This is one of my favorite pages. As far as like what I'm trying to do, I see a lot of that here in Ramsey's page too. Okay, so that's kind of how when you're talking about like what should I post, we all have different styles, but you can see that they all have like similar components as far as like we want to show solar quite a bit, we want to show success stories, we want to show who we are. Yeah, so one of the comments, all the content is either education, entertainment. That's exactly right. Right. That's you can't say that better. Educate, entertain, and energy, emotion. So all those things, like on a weekly basis, I'll try to have something that reflects each of those things. But yeah, what should I post when you're looking at, well, when you're looking for ideas, again, don't look at these pages and be like, oh, I can copy that. It's really come up with a structure of like general ideas, then do your job really hard. And then those things will connect and you'll have posts that are original. But you can see I'm just copying these guys. I have a member of my team here, a dog. I've got solar panels. They don't have a gingerbread house, but I do. So I'm a little bit better, but you know, they're right there with me. Babies and pets. Yep. My poor dog. He's 14. I've just really used him quite a bit. That one right there, actually, he was scheduling a Zoom call with his paw right there. He was using my Calendly link. and then the other, if you go to any, like, hey, what's the key to social media? You're going to get this one first, like consistency. And that comes with just deciding what your flow is going to be. So I started this way and I haven't changed it because I don't like to make this like the whole job. I don't want this to be overwhelming. So what I do is I post a reel every morning at 7:30, between 7 and 8 a.m. And then it's out and I'm kind of done. Like the next thing I do with social media is create posts for the future. But some people will use stories, like Kiara will do really professional posts and then do stories all day. And Jonathan does this too, that show a lot of their team stuff. I really like that flow. Like I kind of want to do more of that, where the stories kind of show like, hey, this is what's happening all day with me. Look how awesome I am, without saying that. And then you keep the post really professional and polished. Yeah, so the platform questions coming up. Instagram is my main one, and I'll put stuff on Facebook, and then I post some of it onto TikTok. I need to get more into YouTube, but YouTube is more long form, and I really want to start that. That's kind of one of my goals this year, is to get on YouTube, mostly to, I like gaming quite a bit, and I want to just stream. In the end, guys, I just want to be a Twitch streamer and just play games all day and people can watch me. I think that's a thing. Yeah, but for video editing, you guys can chat about it. I use InShot on my phone. Like there's a lot of different, you can use a lot of different tools. I'm not going to get into the technical stuff. Okay. So create a flow, make it really simple at first. Like I'm going to post every day. This is going to be my sort of outline for that. The video thing is super overwhelming. Like if you go back to my early stuff, it would be like 4 pictures and a movie, because I'm not kidding. The first few videos I did, I probably did 50 takes, because I would just record it and hate it and just think like, I can't do this. I can't put this online. I don't like it. So videos can be harder, but they're the most valuable. Obviously, they get the most views. They show they kind of show your personality a little bit. And so if you can find a way to turn the camera on and talk, at least start practicing it. You don't have to post it. So this is the question. I've mentioned branding. Like when you are doing this, you're creating a brand. And I like this definition. It's pretty nerdy, but the perception or impression of an individual based on their experience, expertise, actions, achievements within a community. So and then the weird thing about social media is the brand is your face. Like what your brand is, especially in power, is your face and your voice. And the recognition, you can actually be someone that people recognize because you were in their social media, but they heard you talking. It's so much more powerful than like a billboard or some kind of print ad. And you can see here, like if I put up, this is the last 30 days, because I use reels, because you use videos, you're going to get, spun out into the algorithm of whatever, and your video can hit all over the place. And so if I did a print ad, I'm just showing here that in the last 30 days, 20,000 people that don't follow me saw my face and heard me talking. And that's just a scalable, ramping thing for me that's invaluable. So this is the power of video right here, is you can reach a lot more people. Give me 1 second. I got a dog bark.
The 13-year-old old timer is barking up a storm.
Sorry about that. No, it's my sister's dog.
Oh,
she's like stuck in the snow somewhere. She needs to come get her dog. So that the brand is important, and the brand, like I said, you're putting together a structure about what you're going to show on a weekly basis. That is your brand, but in the end, it's your face. You want your face to be trusted. I went into one meeting once. This was from door knocking. I'll never forget this because it was kind of early, and I I thought it was so funny. But I sat down with the husband, and the wife came down the hallway. She says, "The guy from TikTok." And I was like, okay, I got this. And we closed it. And then for a week, my door pitch was, hey, I'm on TikTok. I'm SolarMike on TikTok. You probably heard of me. I'm here to help you with solar. It didn't work, but you get bored out there. So
should have said OnlyFans, Mike. I love your humor, by
That's
the way.
a different presentation.
This is awesome.
Yeah. So I want to talk about creating actual leads. This is, I'll just share what I did in the beginning. But I want to bring it back to, this job is the same no matter how you're doing it. It's all about talking to 10 homeowners or more a day. It's just talking, having that conversation. When I started knocking, my goal was, I'll create this social media stuff, and after a year, I won't need to knock anymore. That was what I'd hoped. And to some degree, it's worked out. I still even knock doors with people on my team, and it's still a great way to do it. But if I can have those conversations without doing it, that's what I would prefer, because it's more scalable. I can sit at home and do appointments all day. I have 3 presentations today, 2 from team members, 1 from a BNI referral. Well, all 3 of my presentations today came from social media. That's how the people on my team met me. The BNI group reached out to me because they saw my social media. So I'm to the point where everything that's on my calendar is coming from some connection to what's on my social media. Now, when I first started it, I thought, well, I'll just digital door knock. That's why I'm going to do this. I'm going to DM these people. That's how small I was thinking, which is, I'm knocking doors all day. Why not just send messages all day and be one of those annoying DM bots? So I did that. Let's see. So this is something you can do. I'm not saying it worked. I think I got 3 or 4 installs from it, but you can see in September of 2021, I said, hey, Karina, my name's Mike. I work for Sunrun, blah, blah, blah. Do you need help with solar? Almost a month later, she said, no, I already have Tesla. And then I said, do you need more? And she's like, yeah, my bill's still huge. And so we did an add-on system. But in that time, so in September, I probably sent 40 messages a day to people that were posting in San Diego. So I would just look up, a city that I wanted to install in. I wasn't doing virtually at the time. So I just wanted to just do my surrounding area. And I would just message people. And it works about as well as door knocking. It's cold calling. The whole point was, I'll throw out 100 of these messages, and like every one of these people that responds counts as a penny. It's the same as door knocking, the same as anything else. It's all about just having conversations with homeowners. And if we can use, I thought, well, I can use this medium to do that. The funny thing is, no one ever responded to me like same day. So what they'll do is they'll click on your account and they'll do the math in their head, like, oh, I don't want solar yet, but like, if I did, I'd probably call this guy. And that's how I know 3 of them happened, where they either saved the DM, like she's got this DM 3 weeks later and she responded, and then I helped her. So even though you might be, you might send 100 DMs in a day, you're not going to maybe generate the conversations that day, but they can see you, like they'll see your brand and maybe save it and then call you when they're ready. I'm just reading the questions here. Oh, that's a good question, because when I was doing this, one of the questions was, how do you know who owns a home? So I would just do a search on a city that I wanted to install in, and then I would just hit every account, because I never try to I just want to talk to people. I know some people, when they knock doors, like they didn't go to renters' houses, or they would avoid certain houses. I just was, and I still am this way. Let me talk to everybody, because everybody knows people. Everybody, you just never know. So I didn't really worry about who I was talking to. And now in Power, especially, like a lot of the DMs I sent were to businesses, but they all have homes. So it didn't matter. It was just, yeah, exactly. I mean, you might run into someone that, if someone will talk to me, there's something to do now, especially with tools of power. Great. You don't have a roof, but there's like 4 other things that you can do to help me talk to a homeowner, and you can get paid to do that if that's the way the conversation goes. So, yeah, I just use this now to do my 10 pennies. Not necessarily, I don't send these homeowner DMs as much, because I'm doing more DMs like this. This is where, we talk about connecting with home service businesses. I think so. I've got a picture here of my DM, and I was messaging window washers in Texas, because why not? And you can see I had a template here, and then these 2 people responded, and I sent them my Calendly and set up appointments. I neither of these people joined my team. I don't know what happened. This was a while ago, but this one was interesting here. So I was on a call with someone on my team in Houston, and he was like, hey, I'm messaging realtors in the area, and I want to, do what you're doing. And he's like, this one account has tons of followers, but they just said no thanks. And we were looking at it, and I said, well, let me message them right now, because I wanted to show, and I want to show here, they told him no. He has a brand new Instagram page, and what happens when you DM someone, if there's any interest in solar, they'll click on your account and they'll see what you are. And so he got the no thanks response, and I got, hey, what did you have in mind? So building out, when I first started in this, I thought, I'm just going to create 9 posts, because if people visit my page, I want it to look like I'm doing stuff. I just want it to look professional. because I want this kind of response. Having a good social media gives you the authority to reach out to people and engage in conversation. And when they see what you have and they see your brand, you'll get a response. Yeah, their Instagram is huge. So I'm running out of time. I just want to make a couple more comments about as you're thinking about like how to scale this. What does it really take a year? So I wasted a lot of time. I could have leveraged what I was doing a lot earlier if I knew more about what I was doing. And I didn't have, when I was in a door knocking company doing this, I was alone. There was no support or discussion about it. I didn't know how to leverage it. The cool thing in Power is, and on my team, so I'm connected to Kiara and Jonathan. All these people, you can go look, if you go to your Power thing and you just click on your leadership, you'll find someone in your leadership that is on social media. And they want you to win because they get paid if you do. It's kind of neat how that works. But you will find someone, if you want to, have your stuff promoted or get help with social media. I can call Kiara every day and talk about social media, and she'll help me forever because she wants my business to grow. And that's how we're structured. So if it's not your immediate mentor, find someone on your levels that gets paid when you succeed, and they will help you in any way you need them to. If you need to create content, if you want them to post your stuff on their page, you can get the help that way. So the structure that we have is kind of a great fit for making this go faster than I was able to. So you can get to a level where this is really working in Power faster than I think anywhere else, because you have so many people that are supporting you. That's about it. Let me look at some of these questions.
And Mike, real quick, if everyone's getting tremendous value from this, super thankful for what you're sharing and teaching everyone. I'm really enjoying this a lot, even from someone that does a lot of social media. If someone does want to reach out to you as a mentor, where do you live and what areas do you like to sell before we go to Q&A?
I'm in San Diego. Yeah, if you're not in Power, let me say, obviously, join my team instantly.
Oh,
right. DM me. Obviously that.
Well, I think everyone's in Power here. Yeah. But your mentor in San Diego, California.
Yeah. So, I'm in San Diego, California. I'm selling all over now. So I don't care if it's anywhere in the country. I have team members in Texas, Florida, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Northern California. So
awesome.
Anywhere and everywhere. Yeah, I've really loved that part of, and we're talking social media and scalability. I did this when I was assigned a neighborhood. My perception of what I was going to be able to do this was so tiny in the beginning. So being in Power with our ability to scale anywhere, it's a massive win to have a brand.
Guys, feel free to type any questions for Mike in the chat. And if you want to speak, feel free to raise your hand. We got a few more minutes here. And if you feel like saying thank you, Mike, in the chat, or amazing content, something you learned, feel free. And Kiara, speaking of the badass women in Power, let me have you unmute there. Go for it.
Hi, everyone. I just want to piggyback off what Mike said and give a story about how Mike's social media and influence in the industry got him a lead and a sale. So Mike joined our team. I found Mike through social media. I actually recruited him through my Instagram. And he was like, okay, he got it. He's like, I'm going to hit the ground running. And he started posting really educational content. And so homeowners saw his content and they basically were like, wow, this guy knows his stuff. And so Mike's like, okay, I need to do my first deal with a mentor. Can I tag you? And I was like, yeah, sure. And the first deal we closed with Mike, I'm not kidding, guys. The guy sat there and said, yep, okay, and then I was like, so we're going to run your credit and sign. He's like, all right. And I got off the phone with him, like, Mike, how'd you find this guy? Like, was he already sold? Did you already present to him? And he goes, no, I've never talked to that guy in my life. I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, he just hit me up on Instagram. And I was like, wow, well, he obviously really trusted you because he didn't give me any objections. I actually was like, is this too good to be true? And he has multiple other houses. And so just want to really highlight providing educational content like Mike does really shows that you know your stuff and people will kind of be already bought into whatever you're selling before you even pitch them. So I just wanted to give kudos to Mike for doing such a good job on that and staying educated in the industry.
That close was weird. That was still the easiest one I've ever seen. They've been all hard since then.
Done. Like, we'll just run your credit now. And he's like, okay. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But it all came from the trust.
It's the trust thing. That was like my original idea was I just want to be trusted because I know I can be. I'm doing the job as best I can. So yeah, building the trust is huge.
And then just showing that you're leading a team too online. I mean, a lot of people ask to join our team and we talk about being selective in who we mentor because we know we're going to bring value. And so you can use Instagram as a place to recruit talent. And in that model with Power's mentorship program, you're getting leads that way as well. So I know, Mike, you've done really good at that. How many people do you have on your team now? You have over 20, I think, right?
Yeah, it's 20 something.
Yeah,
but I want to make a point about that. So Power is a magnet. If you don't know this, you do know this because you're here. But I was in a lot of us have been in other solar companies, and just the value of saying, hey, I'm over here now, is massive because Power's pulling so many good people over here, just by the platform, just by the way they do it, by the tools we have. And so if you just put the word out there, you'll just collect people that are coming over anyway. So it's really important that you let people know that, hey, if you're thinking about Power, you should talk to me. A lot. I haven't really actively recruited many people. I just make sure people know that I'm here. And then when they just send me a message.
I want to say something real quick, guys. If anything comes out of this, look at your LinkedIn, look at your Instagram, look at your Facebook. If someone can't tell in 2 seconds that you do solar, stop being a secret agent. Like, get it to pop, get it to show solar. That's number one. Number two, there's a question in the chat. How do you get over thinking your social media family and friends will think your posts are annoying? We've all been there. Kiara, Mike, me, Jeff Hugh, my boy, said, if people don't think it's annoying, I'm not doing my job right, guys. It took Mike 6 months to get in front of the camera and do a video. It took me a year of horrible videos to finally get better. Like, this is the game. I'm not
but let's
on
be
Facebook.
honest.
Yeah, I want to make money on social
me
media. I don't want to just look at cat photos. I'm there to make money. And so if you do a mixture of everything he's teaching, some will find it annoying. F them. It's fine.
Yeah.
You guys,
I mean, I don't have friends anymore, but it's fine.
Yeah. I don't have any family or friends on my social media. Like, it's all people I don't know. I just looked at my insights and I reached 30,000 people that did not follow me in 1 week last week. These are people I don't know. So that means my page got in front of 30,000 accounts of people I don't know that don't know me, and I can now build a relationship with them. So don't worry about what people think. I mean, coming from someone who gets all sorts of DMs, I've had the most disrespectful things come into my DMs. You really just have to protect your energy, protect your mindset, surround yourself with good people. Everyone in this Zoom has positive energy. Just those are the opinions that matter. Don't worry about all the stuff that deteriorates you from your goals. Just keep posting. Like Jonathan said, we're here to make money, and we have a good culture at Power that's going to support that.
Isela, question. Go for it.
On that note, Kiara, someone had reached out to me
Yeah, my head
posting at
account was
PR. I knew it wasn't her because she's too busy.
So yeah, that happened. And SolarMike too. So I put our Instagrams. We recently had some like impersonators, I guess, like people pretending to be my account and people pretending to be Mike's account. This just happens as you get more exposure online. I put both of our Instagrams in the chat because this was something recent where people were impersonating our account and they look almost identical. I'm not going to lie. So just make sure that we are working on verification, but there is some process that you have to go through. But just make sure that you are, if you're not sure, just DM the person or DM me. My account is Kiara_sells solar.
Yeah, it almost fooled me. I was like, wait a minute.
It's
But,
sneaky. Yeah, my fake account has so many more followers than I actually do. I was like, let's switch, man.
Yeah, it's not the first time that I've had that happen to me. And I always just ask everyone to block and report the account because it's essentially like identity theft at the end of the day. Like they can try and ruin my reputation and all of that. But yeah, thanks for that.
I have a question. Maybe Mike and Kiara can chime in on that. With so much out there, you know, some posts look so cool and then you get intimidated because you not on the content, because I like speaking, no problem with that, but on the how to. So do you guys, is there anyone that you guys follow that are good, like TikTok or real I guess experts where they show tips and tricks on how to do certain things? Because again, sometimes you see social media posts, you're like, wow, how did they do that? And then it's like you get lost. So sometimes I try to go into like a DIY on YouTube to see how I, you know, can do something.
I'm actually going to be providing more content this year around that to help everyone understand how I create content. That's my background. I actually got a journalism bachelor's degree in social media. So I'm going to be kind of doing behind the scenes on, hey, how to use this content or how to do that. And what you can do is when you come across anyone's profile, there's a bell in the upper right of their Instagram page. That's the notification page. And you can turn notifications on for posts, reels, stories, and a couple others. And what will happen is anytime that person posts something, you'll get a notification saying, hey, Mike posted a post. And then that way you can go check the content that they're posting, and that will help you, you know, learn different things. And then at the bottom right of a post, there's a banner image on the lower right, and that's a save feature. And you can create folders within your Instagram and save content. So like if you guys go to my page, I do industry news posts every Wednesday. You could save that industry news post into your own folder and then recreate that content. And I know Ramsey's done some like side-by-side stuff. So there's a lot of cool different things you can do, but the notifications when you come across good content, the save banner at the lower right, and then just following people that are in your industry that you want to learn from, and then making your own journal and notes and content planning schedule.
Very good. One last question too, Mike. I kind of had this. Do you do anything to try to increase your followers? Of course, by posting organically and shares, people may follow you, but do you ever do any activities like search out realtors, add them as a friend, like their content, comment? Like, what do you do to add more followers?
So I haven't really tried that. I do, I tried it locally. So what I'll do is I will once a week or so, I'll try to tag somewhere I'm at, you know, and I try to get in their stories. So that's one thing you can do is you want to collaborate with someone in a way where they can then put your post on their side, and then you may get follows that way. But I honestly haven't worried about the number of followers because you just want your audience really anyway. You're using this to get in conversations. So yeah, I've never really done any tricks. I don't really have any great advice that way.
One thing I used to do is like, if I'm focusing on my hometown of Claremont and Diamond Bar, like I'll find the Facebook page of the church or the restaurant or the home and garden or whatever. And I'll just literally add 10 to 20 a day. Like,
Exactly.
I did not give a crap. If they were a realtor in Claremont or someone I wanted to connect with, I wanted to get to 5,000 friends. That was my goal. That's what one of my mentors taught me a long time ago, 5,000. And I just added anyone, especially local community people. And of course, community groups. You could search magnifying glass solar and go through all those posts as well.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely follow people that are talking to homeowners. That's first. I think it was the first thing I did was I followed every realtor in San Diego. It's just like,
love it.
Step one.
Love it. Love it. Well, it's definitely worked for you well, Mike. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Again, huge thank you to Mike and what the value provided today. Again, he's a mentor in the Power platform with over 50 5-star reviews as a mentor, based in Southern California. So huge thank you to you, Mike. Appreciate your time. And I did share in the chat, the team does have some social media shareables, some corporate pictures on our team marketing drive. Look for the folder videos, look for the photo install photos, and even Power Corporate. Power Corporate, if you're not using the marketing center and making a business card, anything you do is a post. Made a new business card, working on this design today, guys. Like anything you do, like Mike taught us, can be a post. So let's get after it. Make 2023 your year to shine on social media, build your business more. I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording.